The midday sun beat down on Diagon Alley. It was a perfectly ordinary Thursday. Shoppers bustled about, their arms full of bags from quality Quidditch supplies and flourish and blots. Yet, amidst this scene of peaceful prosperity, one wizard stood out. Ronald Weasley, hero of the Second Wizarding War, was staring intently into the window of a dusty antique shop. He was not admiring a rare artifact. He was not looking for a gift for his brilliant wife, Hermione Granger Weasley, head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement. No, Ron was locked in a silent, desperate battle with his own reflection. His ginger hair was a bit thinner now. The freckles seemed less charming, more numerous. He sighed, a sound heavy with the weight of unfulfilled excitement. What does a man do when he has saved the world before his 20th birthday? This is the question that haunts Ron Weasley. He has a loving family. He has a successful business, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, a beacon of laughter and chaos. But the laughter no longer reaches his eyes. The thrill of inventing a new puking pastille pales in comparison to staring down a 50-foot basilisk. He yearns for the good old days, the days of mortal peril, the days of being 1/3 of the Golden Trio. Now his greatest challenge is remembering to take the rubbish out on Tuesdays. It is a fall from grace of epic proportions, from dragon slaying to bin day remembering. A hero's work is never done, they say. For Ron, it seems the hero's work is very much done, and he simply doesn't know what to do with himself. Sources close to the family, sources who wish to remain anonymous for fear of a bat bogey hex, report that Ron's existential dread has become a common dinner table topic. He reportedly tried to spice up a recent ministry gala by challenging the Bulgarian Minister for Magic to a duel. He claimed the minister looked at him funny. The incident was smoothed over, of course. Hermione's diplomatic skills are legendary, but the cracks are showing. The man who once faced down an army of Death Eaters is now picking fights at formal events. He is a man adrift in a sea of calm, desperately paddling towards a storm that will never come. The quiet life, it seems, is Ron Weasley's true Horcrux. The shadow of Harry Potter, the boy who lived and kept on living, looms large. While Harry is busy heading the Aura office, rounding up dark wizards and generally continuing to be a legend, Ron is managing inventory. It is a tale as old as time, the faithful sidekick left behind when the adventure ends. "Every well done, Harry!" from a passerby is a small dagger to Ron's fragile ego. He once stood shoulder to shoulder with the Chosen One. Now he stands behind a counter, selling extendable ears to nosy neighbours. The contrast is stark, it is brutal, and for Ron Weasley it is a daily, soul-crushing reminder of a life less ordinary that has now become terribly ordinary. In a desperate bid to find his footing, Ron sought professional help. He began seeing a mind healer, a certain healer Hemlock, whose discretion was said to be as solid as Gringotts' walls. Alas, it appears healer Hemlock's professional ethics were less Gringotts' vault and more Gringotts' goblin, easily bought. For a handsome sum of galleons, this reporter was furnished with transcripts of Ron's sessions. The revelations are as heartbreaking as they are hilarious. Weasley, it turns out, has been bottling up more than just a desire for danger. He's been bottling up a lifetime of feeling like the spare part, the comic relief, the one who brought the snacks. His confessions are a goldmine of pitiable pathos. "I just miss it, you know," Ron lamented in one session. "The sneaking around, the constant fear of expulsion, or, you know, death. Now my biggest fear is getting a paper cut from the Daily Prophet. And let's be honest, your articles are the only exciting thing in it." Another quote reveals his deep-seated insecurities. "Hermione's got this big, important job. Harry's still out there being Harry. And I'm the guy who knows the best way to denome a garden. It's a useful skill, but it's not exactly going to be on my chocolate frog card, is it?" The pain is palpable, the whine even more so. He even expressed a bizarre form of jealousy towards his past self. That 12-year-old me, he was a legend. He played a giant life-or-death chess game. What did 40-year-old me do today? I argued with a customer for 20 minutes about the refund policy on a box of nosebleed nougat. He won. The customer won. I used to face down trolls. Now I can't even handle a disgruntled shopper from tooting. The healer's notes simply say, "Subject exhibits signs of adventure withdrawal syndrome and a severe case of Chosen One complex by proxy." It is a tragic yet deeply compelling psychological portrait of a hero put out to pasture. The betrayal by his mind healer will surely be another blow, but perhaps it is for the best. The public deserves to know the inner turmoil of their heroes. They need to understand that behind the brave face and the easy grin is a man who just wants to feel the wind in his hair as he flies a stolen Ford Anglia again. A man who misses the simple, terrifying clarity of having a dark lord trying to murder you and your best friends. Is it so much to ask? For Ron Weasley, it is everything. He is not just chasing dragons, he is chasing the boy he used to be. A boy who mattered in a way that selling fainting fancies never could. With therapy proving to be complicated, Ron has resorted to more hands-on methods of rediscovering his inner daredevil. His coping mechanisms have become the stuff of local legend and ministry-issued warnings. Last month, he attempted to single-handedly liberate the dragons from the Gringotts' lower vaults, claiming they looked bored. The effort was thwarted by a team of bewildered goblins and a sternly worded howler from his wife. Eyewitnesses say Ron was wearing his old Gryffindor Quidditch robes and shouting, "For the greater good," as he was escorted from the premises covered in soot and mild dragon snot. His quest for adrenaline has also taken to the skies, not on a state-of-the-art broomstick, but on a heavily modified and highly illegal flying muggle lawnmower. He was spotted by several startled muggles over Surrey, attempting what looked like a series of Quidditch maneuvers, including a rather wobbly Ronsky feint that ended in a neighbour's prize-winning pumpkin patch. The Ministry's accidental magic reversal squad had to work overtime. Ron's excuse? "I was testing a new stealth mode prototype for the shop." No one believed him, least of all Hermione, who was seen confiscating the lawnmower keys with a look of weary exasperation. We reached out to Hermione Granger Weasley for comment. Her response, delivered through a tightly clenched jaw, was telling. "Ronald is simply exploring some new hobbies," she said, the sarcasm dripping from her words like acid from a fanged geranium. "He is very passionate, very creative. I am fully supportive of his journey of self-discovery, as long as it does not involve any more international incidents or require me to file paperwork in triplicate." She then muttered something under her breath that sounded suspiciously like I should have married Victor Crumb. At least his midlife crisis would involve brooding, not barnstorming. The cry for help is getting louder. He has started a dueling club in his back garden, though his only participants are the garden gnomes, who he insists are surprisingly worthy opponents. He has tried to brew his own batch of Felix Felicis, which resulted in a small explosion and turned the family cat a bright, luminous shade of purple for a week. Each failed attempt to recapture the glory of his youth only pushes him further into a spiral of reckless, comical despair. Ron Weasley is not just running on empty, he is trying to refuel the tank with fizzing whizbees and a prayer, and the results are predictably chaotic. What is the root cause of this spectacular unravelling? I consulted with Dr. Abner Pillywickle, a leading expert on post-adventurous stress disorder, or PASD. Mr. Weasley's case is classic, Dr. Pillywickle explained, adjusting his spectacles. For years, his brain was flooded with adrenaline and cortisol. He lived in a state of high alert. Now, in a world of peace and prosperity, his system is screaming for a fix. He needs danger like a vampire needs blood. It's a textbook case of adventure withdrawal. The doctor added with a twinkle in his eye, "It doesn't help when your best friend is Harry Potter, does it? The constant comparison would be enough to drive anyone to fly a lawnmower, and there it is, the green-eyed monster that isn't a Grindylow envy." Could it be that the source of Ron's woes is not the absence of Voldemort, but the continued presence of Harry Potter? Every time Harry foils a dark plot, every time his name is mentioned in hushed, reverent tones, it is a reminder to Ron of what he is not. Harry got the glory. Harry got the lightning bolt scar. Harry got the satisfying career. And what did Ron get? A lifetime supply of Bertie Bott's every flavour beans and a crippling sense of inadequacy. One could almost feel sorry for him. Almost. It is a subtle, insidious form of torture, living in the brilliant, blinding light of the chosen one's fame. But fear not, dear readers. A new chapter may be dawning for our beleaguered hero. Whispers from within the Weasley clan suggest Ron is channeling his angst into a new venture. He is planning to launch a podcast. The proposed title? The Ron Weasley Show, More Than a Sidekick. It promises to be a weekly broadcast of his unfiltered thoughts on everything from the price of cauldron bottoms to the real story of what happened in the Chamber of Secrets. He plans to have guests, conduct interviews, and finally tell his side of the story. The side where he was more than just the funny one. The side where he too was a hero. So, tune in, witches and wizards. Prepare yourselves for rants, revelations, and probably a few too many anecdotes about food. Will this be Ron Weasley's salvation, or will it be another spectacular flame-out, a public airing of grievances that will make his mind healer's betrayal look like a minor leak? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. Ron Weasley is determined to find a new adventure. And if he can't find one in the world, he will create one himself, one rambling, heartfelt, and utterly calamitous podcast episode at a time. The next great adventure, it seems, will be broadcast live from his garden shed. We will be listening, with a quick quotes quill at the ready, of course.